Okay, the time required for SpeedyLube to complete an oil change service on an automobile approximately follows a normal distribution with a mean of 17 and a standard deviation of 2.5. SpeedyLube guarantees customers that the service will take no longer than 20 minutes. If it does take longer than 20 minutes, the customer will receive the service for half price. What percentage of customers receive the service for half price? So I'm going to start with putting my mean in the middle. So 17 and my standard deviation off to the side, 2.5. Okay, so we're looking at 20 minutes, so we'll put that right there. Now this over here, this is saying that it would be longer than 20 minutes, whereas this side over here is saying that it would be no longer than 20 minutes. Okay, so it says SpeedyLube guarantees customers that the service will take no longer than 20 minutes. That's this side over here. If it does take longer, that's this side over here, the customer will receive the service for half price. So over here, the customer will receive the service for half price. Then the question is, what percentage of customers receive the service for half price? Okay, so we're looking for this area to the right, because the area to the right represents the customer receives the service for half price. Okay, well right now, this is an X value. And what I'm looking for is a percentage, which is the same thing as probability times 100%. That will give us a percentage. So to find probability, since we are in a normal distribution, we're looking at a continuous distribution, which means that area is equal to probability. Well, I have a table that links area to z-scores. So if I find a z-score, I can find the area, which is the probability, then multiply the probability times 100%, and I'll get my percentage. So the first thing that we need to do is find the z-score for this point right here. So this will be 20 minus 17 over 2.5. That's going to give me a positive z-value of 1.20. Okay, then I go to my table. There's 1.20. So the area to the left is 0.8849. So the area to the left, all this area, 0.8849. But the area to the left are the customers that don't receive the service for half price. I need the area to the right. If I know that underneath this entire curve is equal to 1, and I know that this section over here is 0.8849, then this section to the right must be 1 minus what we just found, 0.8849, which that is equal to 0.1151. Okay, so there's my probability right there. And then I'm going to take that times 100%. So that will give me 11.51%. So what we're saying is 11.51% of the customers will receive the service for half price. So 11.51% of the customers will receive the service for half price. Okay, now say they don't want it to be 11.5%. So if SpeedyLube does not want to give the discount to more than 3% of its customers, how long should it make the guaranteed time limit? So over here they guaranteed no longer than 20 minutes. And because they guaranteed no longer than 20 minutes, 11.51% of all their customers were getting the discount for half price. Here they're saying we just want 3%, not 11.51% of the customers getting the deal for half price. So how long should we give ourselves to do an oil change? So we're not giving half price to 11.5, just 3% of the customers. Okay, so 3% of the customers getting it for half price. So if our mean is still 17, oops. Okay, our mean is still 17, and our standard deviation is 2.5. So if we just have a random number here, this is what we're trying to find out. How long should we give ourselves? So only 3% of the customers given the service for half price. So over here, the customers are not getting the service for half price. Over here, the customers are getting the service for half price. So that's where our 3% needs to go. So 3%, which I'm going to go ahead and change that to a decimal. So 0.30. Okay, remember? Percentage is like a probability times 100%. I just took away the percentage. So now this could be a probability, which is the same thing as area since I'm in a normal distribution. So this is the area. What I need to do is I need to find a z-score, because I'm going to have to use this formula right here, a z-score times sigma plus mean to figure out my x value. Well, I've got the mean of 17, the sigma of, or the standard deviation of 2.5. I just need a z-score. So I need to use this area right here, go back to my table, and it'll give me that z-score for this area. But remember, when I come to this table, it's talking about the area from that z-score to the left of it. The area that I have right here is to the right. So to get the area to the left, if the whole thing is 1, the area to the right is 0.03, then the area to the left is going to be 1 minus 0.03, or the same thing as 0.97. So this is the number I need to take back to that table. Okay, so somewhere in here is 0.97. So get as close to that number as you possibly can. And it looks like that's going to be about right here. 0.9699. That is as close as I'm going to get to 0.97. Okay, so that's going to be 1.88 for my z-score. Okay, so the z-score for right here, 1.88. Okay, so x is equal to 1.88 times 2.5 plus 17, which that gives me 21.7. We'll go ahead and just round up to a whole number. So 22 minutes. Okay, so if they give themselves 2 extra minutes, so from 20 minutes to 22 minutes, then they go down from giving 11.51% of their customers a discount for half price to just 3%. So there's your answer right there.